All right, so at this stage of the process, I am ready to do a little bit of excitement and a little bit of imaging. Again, the purposes of everything that I'm doing in mastering, not to sound like a broken record, but it's all meant to be super minimal. So what I'm about to do is even more so kind of true here, because especially with excitement, it's really, really easy to fatigue the ears if you apply too much excitement. And excitement, right, is harmonic excitement, it's saturation, it's distortion, it's things that make the mix a bit more, literally a bit more exciting, right? It can make things sparkle a bit more, create a bit more interest, but it's really easy to overdo this, especially on kind of this macro level over here on applying this across the entire song. So what I'm going to be doing is basically applying just a touch of saturation on the top end, a little bit less kind of in this mid-top band, and then the further down the line we go here, we're going to just keep getting less and less with the amount of saturation or excitement that we're using. And I'm going to be using tape saturation. We could maybe play with using a little bit of tube as we get kind of into the low mids, but I like to kind of stick around with tape. I think tape sounds the best. So again, I'm just going to pull up on this amount and then probably pull down on the mix to kind of, again, mix in how much tape saturation we actually want above 10K. And this is for the air of the track, and you'll hear what this is doing right away. It's crazy how intense this effect is. It sounds really nice at first, but trust me, it's really easy to overdo this and kind of come back to it in a few days and be like, wow, I really just oversaturated this. And it's just, it's making my ears fatigued just listening to it. So right around there seems to be like a pretty good level. We'll also go back to tape saturation here and do even a little less in this band. And let's work our way down. I've never actually done different types of saturation on different bands, but let's try it. Let's just go to the tube bus or the tube band here, which will be the low mids, and see how that sounds. But real quick, I just want to get this band set right. And I'm just going to leave the bottom layer off. I don't think we need anything on that low end. The low end here sounds great, so let's just kind of leave that alone. And from there, let's do a little bit of imaging. Same idea here. We're just going to be pretty subtle. We're going to not go crazy, right? We're going to trust that the artist has done everything in their power to kind of position everything in this mix from a stereo perspective, kind of exactly where it should be. So once in a while, I might come across a mix that is like way too mono, right? Or maybe there's too much stereo information. On the mastering level, there is a few little things you can do, but for the most part, this does need to get done in the mix downs or even in the stem masters. You can do a lot more. So what I'm going to do here is just, again, I'm going to boost the top band a decent amount and then work my way down. And I might even go towards mono on this lower band or the lowest band. Yeah, there's a little bit of stereo information there. So let's get like everything below 150, a bit more mono. Go like minus 40. Yeah, and that's sounding really good. I think the last thing that I would really do here is, and this is a plugin that gets I guess made fun of a lot, but the sausage fattener is actually a plugin that I kind of like to work into, because I feel like I can get a decent amount of fatness kind of out of this plugin just through 1 dB of additional fatness. It kind of works as like a clipper, saturator, distorter, limiter thing. But if it's the second to last piece of my chain and I'm not using too much, I'm not using the sausage fattener for too much, I'm just getting this 1 dB of additional fatness out of it. It's super subtle, and it usually sounds pretty good. So let's try it out. Yeah, and it's doing a decent amount here. It's crazy how just 1% of the sausage fattener just further pushes this mix and kind of gets it in that right direction of just that hybrid of super compressed but still super energetic and dynamic and full of life. And I think that so far we've achieved that in this track. So at this point, what I really want to quickly do is just make sure that the dynamics are very much still intact. Just listening to the build and seeing that making sure that the drop is still as impactful as it was when I first listened. And to me, it sounds great. If I really wanted to get some extra, I guess, like whomp out of this drop, or just get a little more, power out of it, I could kind of automate the build down just a little bit so that drop feels a bit more impactful. Let's just hear how that sounds. Let's just do 1.5. Yeah, there's no reason not to do that. It sounds great. And we'll just do it to the second drop, of course, because it needs to get done. But we're sounding great. Just a few last steps, and then we'll be good to go with this master.